Hello all, welcome to KnowHow Academy. Today we are building a real world business reporting system using SQL Server with Microsoft Excel, and this is a system which you can actually deliver to small business clients. When I'm talking about the SQL Server with the Microsoft Excel, in real-time scenarios, there might be such a situation when you are working where your data will be completely in Excel. You have to do some data transformations using a database. When I'm talking about a database, it might be your SQL Server, it might be your MySQL, it might be your Oracle, it might be your cloud warehouse, it might be anywhere. So in our scenario, here we are selecting SQL Server. When I am talking about SQL Server, many of you people usually get confused on how we have to get our Excel data into our SQL Server. It is very easy, but many of them they face the difficulty. So here when I'm talking to you about a SQL Server, it's a very user friendly platform where you can write your SQL query, and here we are going to use SQL Server Management Studio. Now how should you install this one? You can easily download it from Google by searching install SSMS, or later on, once this live is finished up, later on we are going to even add the installation link for your convenience in the description below. Now my dear viewers, it is very important for us to understand that what your client needs with the data that we are having. Our client needs, he or she, they want to see the total revenue by product, they want to see total revenue by month, they want to see total revenue by region, they want to see what is the track repeat customer, or the track of the new customers that they have got in the business. They want to compare the performance in across the sales people or salesperson, whoever might be delivering this particular orders. They even want to go and export the reports for finance or marketing. When all these are required, it is very difficult for us in order to go and write a formula in Microsoft Excel and show it to your client. It's very difficult. It can be very easy when we use SQL Server. If you want to show the data, if you want to visualize it in a pictorial format, then Power BI is the best. But we are not talking about Power BI here. We are talking about how we are going to use Excel and SQL Server as our real world use case. So in this particular scenario, here you are going to learn how to get your Excel into your SQL database, how you can build the real-time sales data or report. You can write reusable SQL queries at what actually client wants. So let's go here and design that particular structure in SQL Server that we are talking about. Here we are going to use normalized Microsoft Excel with 3 sheets that we have. Let me show you that in Microsoft Excel. Here in the customers table, I have the customer ID column. I have customer name column. I have region column. So under customers sheet, what do we have? We have ID customer, customer name, and customer region. Which customer belongs to which region and what is their ID? If you carefully observe, every ID of the customer is unique. No two customers' ID is repeated. Okay, that's an observation that you have to do. Then we will talk about the products sheet. In products, we have a product ID, we have a product name, we have the category, and what is the price of the product. Again, if you see, no two product names ID are same. There might be the category which might be repeated, but not the ID. And we have the price for each product name. Then we have a sales sheet where we have sales ID, customer ID, product ID, quantity, sales date, and salesperson. Okay, so now what's our job? Our job is to we have to format mimics a real business system, okay, and prepare a clean SQL joins and scalable reports. So for this, what we will do, we will import this Excel into our SQL Server. How should we do that? I'll show it to you. So here, what we are going to do is that I'm opening up my SQL Server. I will go to the database, whichever database in which you have to get these sheets, in whichever database you want to get these tables. You select that database, right click your mouse cursor. You have an option called tasks. Under this, you have an option called import data. I'll click on import data. Whenever we want to import any data, we have to click it. Now, if you see, I have the data in Excel sheet. Am I right? So I will go and select my source as Excel. It is asking me to browse and get the path where my file is stored in my computer. So I am browsing that. I have my client sales tracker dataset which I have shown you just now. I'll click on open. I'll click on next. Here we have to select whatever our destination should be. So here I am selecting SQL Server native client. Then it is asking me what is the server name. So as soon as I have selected SQL Server, by default it is selecting the server name here. As you can see, I have used localhost. It is localhost, and I am using Windows authentication, and the database that I want to get these tables is retail database. When I click on next, it is asking me to copy data from one or more tables. Yes, I have more than one table. I have customers, I have products, I have sales. I have to get all these three into my particular database, retail database. So for this, I will click on next. Then I have to select whichever table I want to get. Once I have selected, I have to go and click on next. As soon as I click on next, it is asking me whether I want to run it immediately. You want to run these tables immediately now? Yes, I want to get all this now. That's where I click on next and I'll click on finish. As soon as I click on finish, you can see that I have got this customers, product and sales tables here in my retail database. I have kept it ready for you in order to save some time. Alright. Now what we shall do, let's go and join the customer table, product table and sales table. Before that, I would like to introduce you with a keyword in SQL Server called as alias name. What is alias name? See, I have the customer table, I have the product table and a sales table. So now, rather than using the name called customers every time, I will use the alias name as a C for a customers table, only the letter C. So now it indicates that wherever I am writing C, it is customers table. Rather than writing the complete word called products, I'll just go and write the name as P, alias name as P. So P indicates the product's name. And in the place of sales, I will just write yes. So yes indicates the sales table. So now that will be very easy for me to write with a short name rather than writing the big name and wasting some time on that. So now what I'm going to do, let me show you how I'm going to join these three tables. So for this I'm writing a query here. The query that I'm writing is select yes dot sales ID. Yes is indicating the sales table, comma C dot customer name, comma C dot region. So C is indicating customers table, comma P dot product name, comma P dot category, comma S dot quantity, comma P dot price, comma S dot, here I am doing here I am using some mathematics here, quantity multiply by price column under the product table. I am doing like this and I want to name it as revenue. Comma S dot sale date, comma okay. So here I am trying to choose the name for sales as yes. That's the alias name that I have considered. That's the alias name that I have considered. So now what I'm doing is that I'm getting another table into the picture. So for that I'm using join. Customers table. So the customers table also you can get it from here. I'm indicating this as C, and what is the common column? S dot customer ID equal to C dot customer ID. So this is from the customers table, right? So customers table, I'm joining customers table. So we have to get customers table here, and the alias name for that I am choosing it as C. Okay. Now I'm joining another table which is left, that is a products table. Products table, the alias name that I have considered for it as P on S dot product ID under the sales table product ID column, I'm matching it with the product ID column from the product table. So now as you can see, if I executed sales ID, so what is the name? Let's see. So we have sale ID, it's not sales ID, so we have to correct it. So let's get it. Where is the sale ID? Okay, it's a sale ID. Make sure that the columns that you are choosing, that should be correct. Execute. Perfect, we have got the answer. So now you can see that we have got the sale ID column, customer name column, region column, product name from product table, category column from the product table, quantity column from the sales table, price column from the product table, revenue which is multiplied with quantity and price, and sales date from S, and salesperson from the sales table, right? So this is an interesting way, where we can go and join the different tables. That's very important. Now if I want to find, or my client wants to see, what is the monthly revenue trend, they want to see what is the monthly revenue trend. So what should we do for that? So here I'm writing the select statement, I'm writing the function called format, and here I'm choosing the function called cast. Now let me tell you what is cast. It will convert the data type into another data type of the data into another type of the data. Okay, so for example, if it is n varchar, it will convert it into date and time or some other data type. So that's where we use the cast function. So here we have the column called sale date. I want to convert this as a date data type. Okay, comma, here I want to choose the way year, and in the month format I have to get it. I'll close the parenthesis as month, comma, I want to sum the way how I have done quantity into price. The same thing I want to do it. Quantity multiplied by price for revenue that we want to get it. So in the output I want to get the name as total revenue. From where I am getting all this? From the sales table. From which table? From sales table. Okay. Now I am joining this one with the product table. Okay. On what basis? On sales table, I have the common column called product ID equal to, and from the products table I have the common column called product ID. Here I am choosing the clause group by format, the sales date, comma, the same year and the month that we wanted. I'll close the parenthesis where I will write, I want to get it in a month-wise order by month. So let's go and check it out. Okay, so here also we have to write cast sale date as date. Okay, so here we did not get the month, we have got year. So let's check it out. What is the thing that we have done mistake here? We have written select statement with format. We have used a cast sales sale date, as the date data type that I would like to get it. And this one I have got, I want to get it in year and in a month format. And I'm naming it as month, right? I'm naming it as month here. So now I'm writing some function where I want to calculate my total revenue, where I want to calculate my total revenue, right? So here from the sales table I'm joining. When I'm writing single join, it means that it is inner join. I'm getting it from the products table from the sales table product ID column, and from the products table product ID column. Group by format of cast. I want to get sale date as date, and I want to order it by month. Okay, let us see. We have got the solution. So what is the monthly revenue trend? In the 4th month of 2024 year, my total revenue was 1326, and in my 5th month of 2024 year, my total revenue is 1675.5. So in order to see your monthly trend, you have to use this particular query. And now if I want to find out the top 5 products, how should you do that in SQL? So I am writing the select statement and I am writing top 5. What I want to see? Top 5 product names, comma, sum of the quantity column multiply by price column, and I want to name it as revenue. From which table I am getting these? I am getting these from the sales table, and I am joining this one with the product table. See here, everywhere join I am using it, because join is one of the important concepts in SQL. On what is a common column? The same thing that we have used here, from the sales table product ID column, and from the products table product ID column, where I am grouping it by the product name, and I am ordering it by the revenue that I have got it, but in which order I want it, that's what I have to write, which is descending order. So now if I go and execute this one, we can see that laptops, they are in a high revenue, 2400, monitors 300, keyboard 225, mouse 76.5. Alright, so this is how you can find out top 5. It might be top 5, top 10, top 2, top 3. It is up to you how you are going to define it. Alright, so now if my client is asking me, please show me the region wise sales, how should you do that? We are aware that we have the region column, right? So I want to see the region column, and I want to use the same sum quantity into price here, and I want to name it as regional sales. I want to name it as regional sales. From which table I am choosing this one? I am choosing it from the sales table, and I am joining it with the customers table. Under the sales table, I have the common column called customer ID, equal to, from the customers table, I have the common column called customer ID. and I'm using another particular table here where products from sales product ID column and from products product ID column, that I am using it here. Okay, I'm using it here. So now what I'm trying to do, I am grouping it by group by what? Group by region. That's very important, because region wise sales we have to see. We can see from east region we have got the sales of 1500, from north region we have got the sales of 75, from south region we have got the sales of 1200, and from west region we have got the sales of 226.5. So region wise sales. As I told you, it is very important for a person to see your returning versus new customers. How many returning customers? I mean, how many review customers you have and how many new customers you have. In order to do that, we will use the common table expression. I'm using the CT name as first purchase as I'm writing the select statement. I'm choosing the customer ID column and I want to get the minimum sale date, the one that I have it in a date column, and I want to name it as first purchase date. I mean, whatever might be the least date, that will be my first purchase date. And I'm getting this from which table? I'm getting this from sales table. I want to group by the customer ID column. I will close the parenthesis. So till here our common table expression is completed, and as you all are aware that a common table expression will not work without writing the select statement or insert the statements that we have. So in that scenario, I'm writing the select statement here. Case, I'm writing the case statement under select. When first purchase date, when my first purchase date equal to sales date that I have it, then my output should be new. Else it should be returning. Else it should be returning. And I want to end this case statement as customer type. I want to end this one as customer type, and I want to count I want to count the total. This I want to get it as orders, whatever the orders that the customers have done, and I am getting these columns from my sales table. Now I am using the join concept here, where I have my first purchase. This is not a table name. Okay, this is my common table expression name that I have used here. On my particular sales table that I am getting it, dot customer ID equal to your first purchase dot customer ID. I mean the common table expression name which I am choosing it. I am doing group by and I am using group by, and under group by I am choosing the case statement here again. And now what I am writing, if my first purchase date equal to sale date, then I want to get it as new. Else I want to get it as returning. And finally I want to end this particular case statement. So let me go and execute it so that you can able to understand it in a very easy way. Okay, now you can see that my new customers are 5 and my returning customers are 2. So what I have done here, first I have written a common table expression, and I have written the select statement with customer ID minimum of sales date, and I'm getting it from the sales table where I'm grouping by customer ID. I'm writing the select statement where I'm using case statement. When my first purchase date, which will be equal to my sales date, then it should be new. If it is not equal to sales date, then it should return me as a returning. They come under the category of returning customers. All right. So now I want to count all those total as orders, and again I'm using the joins concept here. All right. So this is an interesting way where you can show the returning versus new customers, how many you have. Now if you want to show the monthly sales, who has done, I mean the salesperson I'm talking about, which salesperson has done how much revenue or how much monthly sales, that you want to calculate. Then I'm writing the select statement and I'm writing format. I'm writing the function called cast. I'm choosing the column called sale date, as date, close the parenthesis, comma, single quotation, y, year I want to get it, month I want to get it, that's where I'm closing the bracket for the format. And I want to get this one as the month column name in the output as month, comma, where I have the salesperson column. And where do we have the salesperson column, that also we have to indicate. But before that, as we have to find the total revenue, so I am choosing quantity times price. Quantity times price as revenue here. I am considering it as revenue here. Okay. Now okay, now what I'm doing here is that I'm writing from where I have got all these. I'm getting it from the sales table. I'm getting it from the sales table, and I'm joining the same here. I have used products on sales.product ID equal to products.product ID, where that is a common information that I have it. And what I'm doing is that I'm using group by, GROUP. Please make sure your spellings are correct. I'm using group by. Again, I'm writing format here. I'm using the cast function. I'm writing the sale date as date data type. That's what I would like to convert, comma. Here I'm writing the year and month, closing the parenthesis. I want to name it, that's what we have to consider, the salesperson. Okay, and I want to order by what? Okay, I want to order it by the month that I have calculated here, and I want to get it by revenue. I want to get by revenue. In which order I want? I want it in a descending order. So if I execute it, we can see that the salesperson Tom, he has done the revenue of 1275, Amy 51, and on 5th of 2024, Tom has done 1350. It is higher when compared to the previous month, and Amy has done 325.5, and she has also done higher when compared to previous month. Now you have built a client ready SQL business sales dashboard system that we have calculated using different queries. We have used different scenarios. We have taken different examples in order to get the client's understanding. Great job. We should understand that whatever we are working, whatever we are writing the query, the logic behind every query matters a lot when compared to what exactly you are having the requirements. That's what you have to understand. So my dear viewers, today in this video we have seen how to import our Excel data into SQL Server. We have seen how the structure can be built, how we have used the joins concept, and with the different scenarios how we have made the client's business understandable. So you can get the script of this in the description of this particular video, and you can even continue watching our real-time use cases series, live series from our YouTube channel KnowHow Academy. So thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as your source for IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate the tech world. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. It's been a pleasure